Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Northridge Prep is a great place to deploy. What does that mean exactly? In short, it's thanks to a foundation of an all-boys environment that builds your son up into a man of intellect and character who loves God. The teachers and faculty members become mentors to students. And when you combine that with an atmosphere that is fun, competitive, and challenging, it creates an exceptional experience for your son. And the result is that boys just love Northridge. They've been educating boys for nearly 50 years. But one of the things that stands out to me is their commitment to partnering with parents. They hear this a lot with schools, but at Northridge, the parents can't stop talking about it. They built a community that really works together. Raising kids is hard in this crazy world, and at Northridge, you can be confident your son is on the right path. They're having an open house on Sunday, October 23rd, for boys in 6th through 12th grade. Register today at northridgeprep.org. Again, that's Sunday, October 23rd. Register at northridgeprep.org. All right, are you a business owner wondering where the economy is heading over the next few months? Are you frustrated with conditions like inflation, recruitment, client retention, and how these factors might influence your company? What about the impact of unprecedented fuel costs and endless rising interest rates? Well, you're not alone. Running a business now is more challenging than it was just 1 year ago, and thanks to current sales policies, there is no immediate end in sight. So how can you plan to get through it all? Start by downloading Turnkey's annual State of Small Business 2022 report at turnkey.pro. Turnkey has insights that can help you figure it out, and it's free with no obligation to you. The State of Small Business 2022 addresses the current environment facing SMBs and includes local market research, business outlook, recommendations, and more. Folks, the report provides insight to help you make important decisions during these unpredictable times. Don't wait. Download State of Small Business today at turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro. Sounds of nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a physician. I've been in practice for 40 years. And when I started taking this, I don't like medicine, and I probably have taken more people off medicine than I put on it. And so I looked at it, and it's pretty much a natural element. There's no question in my mind, knowing a lot of patients, that people my age, 60 and over, do not eat right. And they certainly don't get the appropriate nutrients to the vegetables, fruits, and things like that. So I think that it supplies the building blocks that your body normally would use to heal itself, and if you don't get them, you don't heal right. So it's amazing. I'm doing what I did 2 years ago.
Start your journey to better health. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get free shipping. And don't forget to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code Chicago.
The following is a political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willow Wilson, and I approve this message.
2021 marked Chicago's deadliest year in a quarter-century. Crimes and gang-related violence continue to increase year over year. We can stop this violent cycle by implementing training for young adults, former inmates, and other Chicagoans to learn valuable skills, providing opportunity, education, and economic empowerment. Dr. Willie Wilson as mayor, we can keep Chicago together.
I approve this message.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, bastardizing the meaning of the emergency orders. Yes, Pritzker has done it again. We'll begin there with Ted Dabrowski from WirePoint. And later, do you have to be vaccinated to be an election judge? We were all over that yesterday afternoon, and we have your answer coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer. But now into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
35 degrees, 732. Republicans gaining a big edge this morning among voters 3 weeks before Election Day. From a New York Times Siena College poll, nearly 50% of voters plan to vote with the GOP. Only just under 45% plan to vote Democrat. Last night, Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee had a debate with Democrat candidate Evan McMullen clashing over inflation. Only one cause of inflation. It's excessive spending by Congress. I know that the only time we've ever gotten our fiscal house in order is when Republicans and Democrats have worked together. Senator Lee refuses to do that. Dozens are said to be dead or injured after a Russian fighter bomber crashed into an apartment building. Fiery crash happened in a port city in Russia. Airstrikes have cut power and water supplies to hundreds lives of thousands of Ukrainians, part of what the country's president called an expanding Russian campaign to try and drive the nation into the cold and dark ahead of winter. A man accused of 6 deadly shootings in Northern California will appear in court today. Over the weekend, police arrested 43-year-old Wesley Brownlee. Layoffs, big ones, are coming to Microsoft. The tech company will cut close to 1,000 employees across several divisions. A new study finds more than 1.3 million diabetic adults have skipped, delayed, or rationed insulin because of the rising cost of that medication. Here in Chicago, a store employee is dead following an armed robbery on the north side. The man was working the counter at a food store last night in the 16300 block of Northwestern Avenue when a robber shot that man in the chest. An investigation continues after a theft at a retail store on the south side. 3 males entered the store last night in the 6000 block of South Cottage Grove, produced a handgun, and proceeded to shoplift throughout the store. Authorities are releasing the names of the officers involved in a deadly shootout last week in Decatur. Sergeant Timothy Whitner and Officer Austin Bowman were shot, severely wounded, while exchanging gunfire with Jamonte Neal during a traffic stop last Wednesday. Neal was killed, but only after firing at officers. Whitmer and Bowman have been released from the hospital. Happy birthday this morning, Pro Football and College Football Hall of Famer Mike Ditka, 83. Yankees and Guardians will meet for Game 5 this afternoon. They were rained out last night. Monday Night Football, Chargers edge the Broncos, 19-16. The news, a service of the Daybreak Insider podcast with the latest reporting and analysis of the day's most important stories each weekday morning. Subscribe free, daybreakinsider.com. 7:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Charlie Kirk can't believe what he's reading.
According to the Guest Office, Connick was required to store sensitive election-related information in America and make it only accessible to citizens and permanent residents. The company, though, had stored data on servers in China for the Chinese Communist Party to be able to view it and to look at it.
The Charlie Kirk Show, afternoons at 1, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
It's time for a national conversation on energy. Energy is the master resource, and Americans are blessed to have abundant reservoirs of oil, natural gas, coal, and nuclear power, the most cost-effective and reliable sources of energy in the world. Which is why the last 21 months of the Biden administration are so concerning. Destruction of our energy market endangers our entire economic system and threatens the livelihoods of Americans. In Illinois, Governor Pritzker is doing the same, arbitrarily shutting down our energy production, and customers are concerned. This month, Ameren reported that residential customers can expect 126% increases in costs this year. In the northeast part of the state, NICOR estimated its average residential customer will pay almost $450 more for natural gas this coming winter. Some folks want to place the blame for higher prices on bad weather that shut down power plants and the war in Ukraine. Those factors are insignificant and could be overcome if the Biden administration hadn't crippled our energy markets by closing off the Keystone XL pipeline and limiting oil and gas exploration leases. According to the Institute for Energy Research, no other president since Richard Nixon has leased out fewer acres at this stage in their term. Withholding these leases is against the law, by the way. So now Biden begs for oil from our adversaries, and Governor Pritzker suggests using $200 million of taxpayer money to support those who can't afford the higher energy costs, the problem he created. For all the progressive green energy fanatics, you go first. Go all in. Chop down the wood in your own backyard to heat your home. And stop working out in Lululemon gear, which is made with oil. Pull on some of those stretchy wool leggings instead. I'm Jeannie Ives. To hear more, listen to my podcast at breakthrough-ideas.com. That's breakthrough-ideas.com.
It's October, and you know what that means. The kickoff to the season of indulgence that lasts right through the new year. And for many, it can be a stressful time. into the season. One thing I recommit to is drinking 120 Life every day to keep my blood pressure in check. 120 Life is a refreshing juice drink packed with 6 natural ingredients, including hibiscus, cranberry, and beetroot, that help lower blood pressure naturally. I feel good when I drink it, and it sets me up to make healthy decisions the rest of the day. Don't get me wrong, the season of indulgence is a lot of fun, but so is lowering your blood pressure and keeping your heart healthy. Check it out at 120life.com. That's 120life.com. It's a great website for information and free resources about high blood pressure. Use the coupon code AM560 at checkout for 10% off your order, plus free shipping and a money-back guarantee. Go to 120life.com and use the coupon code AM560.
Chicago's new dishwashers use 1/3 the energy and half the water in U.S. standards for dishwashers. And from now until December 31st, you can save up to $200 in gift card rebates on eligible models. Visit Beppo.com for more details. 7:39, Team Hotburg Traffic Center time, and this update on the travel times is a service of Cabino Environmental. If you need an expert that can come in and clean up that fuel spill, visit CabinoEnvironmental.com. Their environmental response team will come to the rescue. Get help at CabinoEnvironmental.com. Inbound Eden's 27 Lakebrook Road into the junction. It is an hour 13 from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Morning heavies have hit the Ike inbound from Manheim into the post office. It's a full hour right now. Stevenson in 57 minutes from 3:55 into Gustavo Lakeshore Drive. Dan Ryan 35, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. Right at the 95th Street, there's an accident reported. We'll get lane blockage for you a little later on. Gustavo Lakeshore Drive jams up southbound between Hollywood and Foster. And the Tri-State disabled vehicle left center lane blocked northbound on 294 between Harlem and 87. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Cloudy, windy. Wear the scarf. You'll need it. Just trust me. 45 today. 31 with a freeze overnight. 35 right now. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer. From the Matrix Home Solutions Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
Good morning, Ray. I hope you guys are well.
Yeah, so it's happened again. 949 days and counting that we are under an emergency, an executive order. We're in a state of emergency.
I mean, it's fascinating, right? I mean, he signed this disaster declaration. He literally said in the latest disaster declaration, his 35th in a row of 30-day declarations, that Illinois is still a disaster. All of 102 counties, so that compares even the smallest county, which is got like 3,500 people, with Cook County, which has got over 5 million. We're still a disaster, and he just bastardizes the whole meaning of a disaster declaration because that means you could use it for anything going forward, right? And how do you respect a government that wants to run that way, and a governor that wants to run that way?
But why is he doing it? Is it still because of federal funding?
Well, certainly we still get federal money, right? To be clear, none of our neighbors are doing it, right? Wisconsin ended theirs a year and a half ago, their emergency orders. Michigan, 2 years ago, they ended theirs. All the other states around us ended 6 months ago. And yet we're the only ones that still do that. And it's because, one, we still get some money for food stamps, we still get some extra money for Medicaid. But, I still think, personally, the money is one thing, the power is the other. This governor can turn on the mask mandates if he needs to. He can turn on the vaccine mandates if he wants to. He can turn on anything he wants to because it's unilateral power to make laws. And as long as he's got that power, he's keeping it, and nobody's taking it away from him. Chris Welch isn't taking it away from him. Don Harmon, the Senate President, isn't taking it away from him. So he gets to kind of just do what he wants and do it for free.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to go back to mask mandates, especially before the election, I think this would spell big trouble for him, don't you think?
Well, it would. I mean, I don't think anybody thinks that would happen. But yeah, but he has the power to do that, and that's the point. And you know, he reserves this unilateral power to decide these things, and that's what's wrong. You know, we should have the legislature at this point, 950 days after we started these emergency declarations. You know, the legislature should be ruling things, and we should literally fire every one of them for not taking power back. Of course, there have been some Republicans who tried to take power back, but they don't have a voice. They're super minorities. So it's really on the Democrats who've done nothing to take away Pritzker's power. In fact, they've let him keep it.
But in this latest executive order that he signed, he scratched out, about face coverings and put all individuals, including those who are fully vaccinated, are recommended to wear a face covering consistent with the CDC guidelines. So that says to me that he might bring back masking.
Yeah, I mean, there's one way to read it. Another way is that he's relaxing a little bit because he's removed it from some of the places that still required, except for, of course, federal, the federal laws supersede. But yeah, it's the same thing. I think Charles is covering what you guys are talking about. Well, Charles Thomas, just he had these powers to force the schools to remote learning or mask mandates or vaccinations. It's an extreme power, and I can't believe that one, we let them get away with it in the first place, and two, the fact that that's so long ago that we're still letting him have those powers. It's wrong in every way.
Now, we're 3 weeks from the election. I can't believe it's 3 weeks.
I can't wait for it to be over. I hear one more commercial. I swear I want to just ram my car into a tree. It's
really? You don't want to hear more about abortion?
No,
right?
I'm so sick and tired of it. I want
doctors and women who get abortions.
I want people to understand that everything costs more, that fuel costs more here. I want people to vote with their pocketbooks and just come out and wipe this guy out. Let me ask you this, Ted. How come it's never brought up? How come this guy gets a free pass when Rod Blagojevich went to jail? For allegedly trying to sell a Senate seat. He went to jail for allegedly trying to shake down a hospital. Pritzker was one of the guys that was on the phone call with him. How come he never gets implicated with any of this?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the fundamental story on Pritzker. He never gets implicated on anything. Maybe nobody liked Blago that much, that kind of stuff, but he was easy to pick on, and he kind of I don't know, he wore that stuff poorly. Pritzker's smoother, he comes from all the money, he knows how to maneuver all these things, and he does a really good job of hiding behind things. And I was just making a list of all the things that go on. You're touching on a huge one, right? That would be in most cases certainly lots of investigations, but in this case, you've got the whole crime thing. He's not wearing, the media's not making him wear anything on the crime and his lack of stepping in to fix things. In fact, he's making it worse in the Safety Act. All the COVID stuff we just talked about, all the stuff that happens in schools, I mean, we've gone to the extreme. All this energy stuff that he's doing on the green is the most extreme in the country. He's done a lot of extreme things that just aren't good, but the media doesn't call him out for it, because it's the same thing as you mentioned on his telephone calls with Blago.
Now, tonight's the second and final debate. Who do you think won the first one?
Well, I thought Bailey did. You could tell the body language. I watched Pritzker give his speech in New Hampshire. He's kind of his first presidential run speech, and I told people, you got to watch it. You'll see that he's running for president. He that. And then he did Florida as well. And he was very, very powerful, very strong. Of course, there wasn't a debate, but he was leaning into all the progressive things that he pushes, and very strong. And then you watch him in the debate the other day. He was on defense for the first time in a long time. He looked flustered. Bailey looked really comfortable. Bailey was the aggressor, and of course he's got all the stuff on his side. I argue with the physical issues and the COVID and crime and all that. So I thought Bailey did really well, and I thought Pritzker looked weak.
And he didn't answer any of the questions. I mean, they even asked twice. I can't remember her name. The Springfield Champaign Urbana. I'm sorry, the anchor down there. She did such a good job. She did not let him slide. She said, "You're not answering the question. What would you change about the Safety Act? What would you amend from it?" He just danced around it. So I don't even know who's moderating